Good morning, America. Breaking overnight. Israel launches a wave of heavy airstrikes on Hezbollah, saying the militant group was planning an extensive attack. Hezbollah responds with rockets and drones. The escalating tensions in the Middle East and what it could mean to the negotiations for a ceasefire in Gaza.
New this morning, Hone, now a hurricane. The storm packing 75-mile-per-hour winds and threatening to drop up to a foot of rain on Hawaii. Samara tracking the storm's path.
Stuck in space? New details about when the stranded Starliner astronauts will return to Earth.
Space flight is risky, even at its safest.
The 8-day mission now dragging on for months more.
Daddy-Daughter Dance, the new Netflix documentary Daughters, following girls preparing to attend a dance in prison with their incarcerated fathers.
When he says he loves me, I'm gonna say I love him more.
GMA speaking with the two women behind this emotional film.
Fast food wars, customers dealing with sticker shock. The latest chain offering a value meal, looking to win back business.
Fabulous finish. The college football kickoff. Georgia Tech gets the ball rolling with the first upset of the season. And the big changes, the expanding playoff teams. Plus, it's time for the U.S. Open. The top contenders and the Americans looking to break through.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
And Good Morning America. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I want to get right to that breaking news from overnight from the Middle East. Rockets seen flying over Israel as the IDF says it launched a preemptive strike on the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah in Lebanon.
Israel says the group was planning an extensive and imminent attack. Hezbollah responding to the strikes by launching hundreds of rockets and drones.
And the situation in the region growing more tense amid efforts to forge a ceasefire in Gaza. We're going to begin our team coverage here with ABC's Britt Clennett in Tel Aviv right now. Britt, good morning to you.
Good morning, Gio. Yeah, a major escalation in regional tensions here. Israel is saying it carried out preemptive strikes involving 100 planes to take out targets in southern Lebanon ahead of a significant attack against its territory.
Explosions and flashes of rocket fire lighting up the sky over the Israel-Lebanon border in the most heated exchange of fire between Israel and Hezbollah since the war began, amplifying the risk of a regional war. Scores of Israeli missiles fired into southern Lebanon to take out Hezbollah military targets. After the IDF said it identified Hezbollah preparing an extensive and imminent attack on Israel. Sirens blaring across northern Israel as Hezbollah fired at least 320 rockets into Israeli territory, the most in a single day since the Gaza war began. The Iran-backed group confirming it has started phase 1 of its attack, in retaliation for Israeli strikes that killed its top military commander in Beirut 3 weeks ago. The IDF telling ABC News most of the intended targets were in the north, but also included intelligence bases and the headquarters of its spy agency Mossad just north of Tel Aviv. 3 killed and 2 injured in Lebanon, according to their health ministry. No casualties reported in Israel. Tel Aviv's main airport, Ben Gurion, shut for 2 hours this morning. The Israeli government also limiting gatherings and restricting recreational activities. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said his government is determined to do everything possible to protect our country, adding, "Whoever harms us, we harm them." President Biden watching closely, with Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin reaffirming the U.S.'s commitment to Israeli security. And with ceasefire talks resuming to secure the return of the remaining hostages and reduce the threat of a larger regional war, an Israeli official confirming that talks will go ahead in Cairo without direct participation from Hamas and no real breakthrough expected. Negotiations stalling over Netanyahu's insistence on keeping an Israeli military presence at the Egypt-Gaza border. Arwa Naif, speaking to me from Deir al-Balah, where hundreds of Gazans are being evacuated, says she's frustrated by the inability of the leaders to end the suffering there.
We, people on the ground, we are not among the calculations of any of these parties.
Now, the IDF said most of the intended targets were in the north, but also included some in central Israel. Sources now telling ABC News those targets were estimated to be intelligence bases and the headquarters of its spy agency, Mossad, just north of Tel Aviv. Gio?
All right, Britt, thank you so much for your reporting. And the White House is watching these developments overnight very closely. So let's go there right now. ABC's Mary Alice Parks is following that side of the story. Good morning, Mary Alice. What are you hearing?
Yeah, Gio, good morning. The White House telling us that President Biden has been closely monitoring these events, talking to his national security team throughout the evening, and that senior administration officials have also been talking continuously to their Israeli counterparts. Now, in a new statement from the national security spokesperson, they wrote, "We will keep supporting Israel's right to defend itself, and we will keep working for regional stability." Of course, that is the concern. The U.S. had been on high alert these last few weeks, rushing an additional carrier strike group to the region to try to deter Iran as it's weighing its own possible retribution strikes against Israel. The region, as you heard, they're just more intense after those back-to-back assassinations of a senior Hezbollah leader in Beirut and then a senior Hamas leader in Iran in July. And the big question now, of course, will this escalation overnight impact those ceasefire talks that were set to get underway again in Egypt? The fact that both sides seem to have focused squarely on military targets and that Iran has not yet added to this response could be a good sign for those talks to go forward. I will tell you, the White House here still insisting that there is hope. Whit.
All right, Mary Alice Parks for us. Thank you. Joining us now is IDF spokesman Lieutenant Colonel Nadav Shoshani. Thank you so much for speaking with us this morning. We do appreciate it. Can you tell us more about the specific threats from Hezbollah that prompted Israel to launch this preemptive strike? And was the U.S. involved in the operation?
Thanks, Hewitt. This morning we saw a threat of thousands of rocket launchers targeting, aimed at Israel, mostly northern Israel, but also central Israel. And we saw Hezbollah preparing to carry out an attack, a heavy attack of hundreds of rockets towards Israelis, towards Israeli communities. Seeing that, we carried out a strike in self-defense to remove that threat of an attack on Israeli civilians. And to prevent a larger attack than the one we've seen today, using active defense to attack these rocket launchers and also to use our aerial defense systems to intercept the rockets coming into Israel. And of course, we've been in very intimate connection with our partners, our counterparts in the CENTCOM along this period of time, with Hezbollah threatening to escalate the situation, threatening to take the Middle East into a larger escalation. We've been in very intimate conversations with our counterparts in the U.S., making sure we're able to defend ourselves and making sure we are able to do that without creating a larger escalation in the Middle East.
And forgive me, just to be specific, when you say communication with the U.S., was the U.S. specifically involved in the operation, though, in terms of firepower, shooting down some of those rockets and drones?
This was an Israeli operation. This was an Israeli endeavor also to remove the threat of the rocket launchers and also to intercept the rocket and UAVs on the way. It was solely an Israeli operation. But as I said before, we have great connections with our counterparts, planning, backing us up, and working together to cut down the tensions, defend Israeli civilians, and prevent a wider escalation in the Middle East.
And so Hezbollah is also claiming success this morning. Can you give us an assessment on whether their rocket attacks cause any damage or casualties in Israel?
I can tell you there was very little effect to their attack. We were very successful intercepting it. As I said, also using the active defense, but also intercepting them with our aerial defense systems. Very little hits, mostly shrapnel from our aerial defense systems, and they were not able to hit bases or main targets.
Is Israel now planning for and actively engaging in a wider regional conflict?
As we said, and this is not a war we started, not with Hamas and not with Hezbollah. We are protecting our country, we are protecting our civilians, we are fighting for our existence, and our goal is to bring back peace for our people, to bring back over 100,000 people to their homes in the south and in the north. You know, our school year is starting in a few days, and the people living in the north are not going to start their school year. So our goal is to push away Hezbollah, is to protect our civilians, and we have no goal of a wider escalation, but we will protect our people, and we will attack back when we are attacked from terror organizations.
And speaking of that peace in the region, as you know, talks were supposed to resume this week over a possible ceasefire and hostage exchange with Hamas. Is there any hope left for a breakthrough after this escalation?
One of our main goals in this war is bringing home our hostages. That's one of our main goals, and it could be done in military pressure and military operations or in a hostage deal. And we have hope for both, and we're working for both. And I don't think these morning events affect that directly. We still have hopes for the talks, but we're also ready to keep fighting in Gaza and to use military pressure to bring back our hostages.
Lieutenant Colonel Nadav Shoshani, thank you so much for your time this morning. We do appreciate it. And we will continue to follow the breaking story throughout the morning here on ABC News and ABC News Live. Mary?
Okay, Whit, now back home. We are watching the path of Hone. The storm upgraded to hurricane strength overnight. Samara Theodore is here with Hawaii feeling the effects.
Good morning, Mary. Yeah, so right now, Hone, a weak Category 1 hurricane. You can see the rain bands battering the Big Island there. They could pick up 6 to 12 inches of rain, 2 to 4 inches farther north in some of the islands that sit there. Now, you look at the wind field, because this is also the impact. The red is where we have hurricane force winds, but you can see the Big Island pretty much getting anywhere from tropical storm force winds up to about 59 miles per hour. Now, the wind field continues to shift as it heads into the evening, but what we will be remaining with is life-threatening rip currents. So it's important for the surfers out there to know this storm system will continue west and it will turn into a tropical storm in the coming hours. Gio?
All right, Samara, thank you so much. And turning now to Germany and new developments in that deadly knife attack. A suspect is in custody right now, and the terror group ISIS has claimed responsibility, quote, for the deaths of Muslims in Palestine and everywhere. ABC's Inez de la Cuetada joins us now with the latest. Good morning, Inez.
Good morning, Gio. And German police confirming they have arrested a suspect in connection with that stabbing attack in Solingen, Germany, that killed 3 people and injured 8 others, 4 in serious condition. The perpetrator had been on the run since Friday, but after a major manhunt, police say overnight a 26-year-old Syrian man turned himself in, claiming to be the attacker. His involvement in the attack is now being investigated. Earlier on Saturday, police also arrested a 15-year-old on suspicion he knew about the planned attack and failed to report it. And then working off a tip, a tactical police unit then raided a refugee housing complex where they found someone who is believed to have been in contact with the attacker. That person is now being treated as a witness. And Friday's attack is now being investigated as terror-related after ISIS claimed responsibility for the attack, saying on its news site that the goal here was to avenge Muslims in Palestine and everywhere. ISIS, however, hasn't provided any evidence to show they were involved, and the German Attorney General's office says it hasn't confirmed the suspect is a member of ISIS. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, meanwhile, saying he was shocked by the terrible event and stands with the city of Solingen in mourning the victims. Whit.
All right, Inez de la Cuetada, thank you. To the race for the White House now. The presidential hopefuls get back on the campaign trail with 72 days to go until Election Day. Vice President Kamala Harris and her running mate Tim Walz still riding high on the momentum from the DNC. The duo kicking off their bus tour with their first stop in the battleground state of Georgia. This week, meanwhile, the Republican ticket also stepping things up. Former President Donald Trump expands his campaign staff as he enters a packed week with stops in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. Gio?
All right, Whit, now to the 8-day trip to space, turning into 8 months. NASA now saying it is keeping 2 astronauts in the space station there until February and not risking bringing them back on Boeing's troubled Starliner. This morning, NASA revealing new details about when the stranded Starliner astronauts will return to Earth. The agency saying Saturday it will not risk bringing astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams back home aboard the Boeing Starliner. And instead, they'll have to wait till February 2025 to return on a SpaceX Crew Dragon. NASA officials saying there was too much uncertainty about the Boeing Starliner after discovering helium leaks and faulty thrusters.
Space flight is risky, even at its safest.
The SpaceX Crew Dragon was originally launching with a crew of 4 astronauts on board. The mission to space, called Crew 9, will now only have 2 astronauts on board to make room for Wilmore and Williams on the ship's return in February.
The easiest and best option was to configure the Crew 9 vehicle with a couple empty seats on the way up.
3, 2, 1, ignition, and liftoff.
Wilmore and Williams will now become official members of that Crew 9 mission and remain in space for an additional 6 months, after already being delayed for 2 months on what was originally planned as an 8-day mission. As for the Boeing Starliner, it will come back to Earth without any humans on board. And the Boeing Starliner has been troubled from the start. Technical issues kept it grounded for years, but Boeing and NASA remind us that this was always meant to be a test mission and that both astronauts always knew that a longer stay was possible. But test mission or not, it's clear that they do not believe that this Starliner is safe enough to bring them back on board. So we're going to have to watch that and see what happens when the Starliner comes back empty.
So much to keep an eye on, and certainly don't want to risk anything.
Absolutely.
We know you'll be watching it closely. Thanks, Gio. And now to the latest salvo in the fast food wars. Subway announcing a new foot-long deal in an effort to win more customers frustrated by high food costs. ABC's Faith Abube joins us with those details. Good morning, Faith.
Hey, good morning to you, Mary. Nothing says back to school quite like the fast food chains fighting for your business as your schedule gets busier, and that means a small win for consumers who are just tired of rising menu prices.
Looking for a reason to try the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's?
This morning, the value meal wars heating up as the fast food sticker shock goes viral on social media.
$18.91 for this?
Budget-conscious foodies airing out their frustrations.
Why is this $10? It used to be $5. Make it make sense.
Data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics confirming their reality. The Consumer Price Index in March showing fast food cost nearly 33% more than it did in 2019.
Consumers now have to make a choice between, cooking at home or eating out at their favorite fast food restaurants. And so fast food restaurants now are trying to make it more affordable to decide to work with them.
Fast food giants McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and Taco Bell already launching their own value meal deals. And now Subway, one of the world's largest chains with nearly 37,000 franchise locations, joining its competitors, hoping that it lures back inflation-weary customers. Instead of the long-gone $5 footlong, starting Monday, Subway says it'll offer the popular menu item for $6.99, a steep discount for a limited time. Currently, some locations sell the sandwiches for double that price. The company's CEO writing, "This new deal means our guests can get the sandwiches they crave at a great value."
And even though inflation is cooling, our expert does expect to see more deals coming up because she says prices were not cooling just as fast. Guys.
Okay, put in our order for the cold cut trio coming up. Thank you, Faith Abube. We appreciate it.